Warm welcome to all of you grade 3s this morning. Welcome back to WorksheetCloud.com, who are presenting these lessons to you. I hope you had a lovely Easter weekend. I'm sure it was quite quiet because we have to be locked down at home, but I bet you got quite a few Easter eggs like I did. So without any further ado, shall we carry on? Well, on the slide you see in front of you is an email address that you can email me. Just a reminder about that. If you have any queries about the lesson that we are covering today, please feel free to email me while I am teaching you. First thing I'd like to do is just to do a recap or a revise a moment about nouns. We learned about nouns in our last lesson. Common nouns, proper nouns, and collective nouns. I wonder how many of you have remembered those and what they each are. So we have our common nouns, proper nouns, and collective nouns. Common nouns are your everyday nouns like dog, cat, mouse, chair, table, girl, boy. Proper nouns are your important nouns, and they all start with with capital letters like Mrs. H, Jenny, Taryn, Madison, Chelsea, your name, mom and dad's name, gran and grandpa's names, name of your school, name of your street, name of your country, name of your province. All start with capital letters. They are special names of the common nouns right here. And the last little group of nouns we learnt about are collective nouns, which are quite fun. And these nouns describe groups of animals or things, like a flock of sheep, herd of cattle, a litter of kittens or puppies or piglets, and so on. I'm going to just give you a moment to try and identify these different nouns, just to recap what we did last time. So let's go. Right, I'm going to write up a few sentences for you. While I keep adding the sentences, take a look at the ones that are already up there and see if you can identify the nouns in these sentences. Paul ate his sweets, the next one. Mr. Jones loves to play with his tennis ball, and I'm just going to do one more. We live in South Africa. Okay, the first one. There are two nouns in there. Which is the common noun? Absolutely right. Sweets is the common noun. It does not start with a capital. In the second sentence, which is the common noun? Right, ball. And in the third sentence? Well, in the third sentence, it is a proper noun. In sentence 1, Paul is the proper noun. It's a special name. And in the second sentence, Mr. Jones is a proper noun. Come on, let's move this thing all out the way. Right, now that we've finished with nouns and revising them, let's have a look at verbs and adverbs. What you'll learn today is verbs and adverbs, and this superhero says a verb, that's what's happening. In other words, it's a doing word. And there are some examples. These pictures can give you a clue. So these are not naming words now, they are doing words like play, cook, run, swim, laugh, read, sleep, and bark. And just for a laugh, this is quite a cute cartoon where this guy says nouns are okay, but verbs always seem to lead to work, and that is it. A verb is a work or doing or action word. And so we must remember the word do. You do it, do it, do it. The doing word. Right, I'm going to give you a chance to identify verbs in sentences now. And there are a whole lot of them. Pack, pull, scrub, skate, sweep, and so on. Let's go and get onto our whiteboard and write up some sentences for you. And while I'm writing, you can start thinking about which are the verbs in the sentence. The cat scratched the boy. What is the verb? My mom baked a cake. Dad builds every day. Right, let's have a look. Well, cat is a noun, so scratched is the doing word. And the second sentence, the boy, my mom, baked a cake. And in the third sentence, Dad builds every day. So those are doing words or verbs. Okay, let's go. Next one. What is an adverb? Remember, I said we were going to learn about verbs and adverbs. So what does it suggest? It says adverb. Well, adverbs describe verbs, or they add to the verb. It almost like explains itself. So to give you an example, if the little girl chatted, how did the little girl chatter? The little girl chatted endlessly. I know quite a lot of little girls who chatter endlessly. The little boy swims how? Confidently. And the author writes excitedly. We read carefully. We smile happily. The rain falls heavily. And the birds chirp cheerfully. Here we go again. We're going to now identify adverbs in the sentence. The baby laughs. Well, how does the baby laugh? Sweetly. And that is one of the loveliest sounds you can hear. The dog growls. Fiercely. It's telling you how. The teacher smiles. Cheerfully. So these adverbs tell you how something is done. But there are also types of adverbs as there are for nouns. So in nouns we have common nouns, proper nouns, and collective nouns. Those are just a few of a larger group of nouns. But adverbs, there are also many types of adverbs. Boys and girls, for instance, let's have a look at this sentence or these few sentences here, this paragraph, and I will chat to you about the different adverbs. 4 friends waited restlessly at their stations for the relay race. Well, these are athletes waiting to have a race, to get going with their race. So how did they wait? Restlessly. They were desperate to get this race going. The next sentence starts with suddenly the starting pistol boomed loudly. Well, all the adverbs are in blue. Suddenly tells me when the pistol boomed, not yesterday or in an hour's time, but suddenly, like now. And then it also tells us how It boomed very loudly. It wasn't quiet. The next sentence, immediately Naomi dashed soundlessly away. Immediately tells me when she dashed. Didn't wait for 3 seconds or in a while. Immediately this is an adverb of time. And then this is how she dashed, soundlessly without making a noise, and where she dashed. She dashed away. As Naomi ran past, George neatly grabbed the baton from her and started his run. So, where did Naomi run? She ran past, not around or up and down. So that is an adverb of where she ran. And then George neatly grabbed the baton. So he grabbed the baton neatly. He didn't drop it. He didn't fumble it. And notice that this adverb goes in front of the verb. So that gives you an idea of these 3 types of adverbs that we use. There are others that you'll learn about as you move on up in the school. So we have adverbs that tell us where something gets done. We have adverbs that tell us when something gets done. And we have adverbs telling us how something gets done. The boy woke early. What kind of an adverb is early? Well, what is it telling us about how the boy woke? He woke early. It's an adverb of time. When. The girl spoke kindly. How did she speak? That's an adverb telling us how she spoke. The children played outside. And the adverb outside tells me where the children played. Adverbs are quite cool. Let's identify adverbs in sentences now. Here comes the first one. The girls sang beautifully. Look at that one while I type up the next one. The boy ran outside. What kind of a verb, what kind of an adverb should I say, is outside? And the dog ran daily. Okay, the first one, the girls sang beautifully. The verb there is sang. And the adverb is beautifully, and that is describing how the girls sang. The boy ran outside. The verb is, the doing word is ran. Well done. And outside tells me where the boy ran. Well done. The dog ran daily. Well, dog is obviously a noun, but ran is the verb, and daily is the adverb. Tells me when the dog ran. So there are your 3 adverbs. Beautifully is how, outside is where, daily is when. So what have we learned so far, grade 3s? Verbs are doing words. Adverbs add to and describe the verb. Adverbs tell us how, when and where something is done. And I would just like to end off by saying thank you very much for watching grade 3s. I trust that you now know quite a lot about parts of speech. So you know about nouns, that there are 3 types of nouns we covered so far, and that you know about verbs and adverbs. Just a reminder to go onto WorksheetCloud.com and download the worksheet and the answers and do those so that you can learn even more about parts of speech, nouns, adverbs and verbs. Until I see you next time, enjoy the rest of your day and goodbye for now.